morning, Facebook friends. It's good to see you this morning. Look, y'all have been asking me how to take care of cast iron, and I've been trying to tell you just cook in it. And that's all you have to do and get it right. I don't put paper towels between mine. I don't grease mine with grease and put it in the oven. I cook in it, and it makes it good. So I bought something, or had something, I should say. I went down to my old barn and got it. But anyway, I want to show y'all this pan, and I want to show you what terrible condition it's in. So if you're ever at a flea market or somewhere and you see an old pan and you think, I wonder if I could clean that up. Well, the answer is yes, you can. Just takes a little elbow grease, as my mama used to say. All right, now I'm gonna show you the pan. Let's turn this around where you can really see it. This is kind of, look at this thing, how rusty. Look at that. Look at the top of it. All right, I'm going to show you the inside. I hadn't washed it or anything. Look at that. Got spider webs in it. Old rust in it. Well, I'm going to put this down in my water right now. I got me some hot water. Now I want you to look at the inside. Look at the rust that's in there. You see that? And dirt and grime and that kind of thing. Well, I'm going to look on the bottom, and there's no markings on it. It's just an old iron pot. Cast iron pot. So that's what we're going to be working with today. It's just really old. So what we're going to do is I'm going to clean it up and show you how I'm going to do it. Now it may take me a day or two to get this done. And the reason is because I'm going to be cooking in it. So if you see me with different outfits on in this video, you'll know that that's how many days it took me to get it like I really want it. I'm going to start this morning by washing this pan. Now let's get, the lid part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my rag first and just wash off any iron and spider web and whatever that I've got on it. I'm just going to give it some good soapy water, okay? All right. So I'm going to do that. Now I'm going to get this scratch pad. I don't know if y'all know it or not, but you know the ones that are copper colored scratch pads, they don't last 2 foggy mornings. They really don't. So you want to get one that's a stainless steel scratch pad, and it'll work better. Not a, I'm trying to think of the name of that. Not a Brillo pad. Not a Brillo pad. This is just a stainless steel wash pad. Let me see if I've got another one down here. Here you go. Here you go. Here's 2 that I've got. I buy that Speak and Span Steel Bright stainless steel scour. See how it comes? It comes like that. But I've used this other one so much, and they last forever. They literally last forever. So anyway, so now I'm going to do some scratching around here so y'all can watch that. I'm going to give it a good scrubbing. I'm not going to be tender with it. It's steel. I'm going to just scrub it real good. Put some elbow grease in it, like that. And see, you've got all kind of old brown rust coming off of it. You're going to be surprised how good this is going to look when we get through. Okay, y'all, I want to tell you this too. If you go into a junk shop or antique shop and you see something that looks like this and you think, goodness gracious, that's expensive. Well, it's probably, if you look on the bottom, that's my washer. I'm washing clothes today too, and it gurgles when it goes out. But anyway, what I was going to tell you is there's 2 kinds of old ironware that's very valuable, and it's well, there's probably more than this, but the 2 kind I look for are Griswold and let's see if I got one right here. Griswold's one of them. This one right here. I know you can't see it, but it says Wagner Ware. So those are 2 kinds that I look for. So if you find something that says Griswold or Wagner, you know you've got a treasure. And you're probably going to have to pay a little bit more for it than normal. You see how hard I'm scrubbing this thing? I'm not being gentle at all, and this thing is wonderful too. You might even take you some sandpaper and do it, but you got to get all some of that stuff off of it. No telling how many pieces of meat and everything else has been cooked in this. All right, I'm gonna rinse this off a little bit. And one thing we need to remember is the drying. You got to dry this thing good. Now it seems still a little bit rough. I'm gonna scrub it just a little more. And I may have to scrub this several times before I get it just like I want it. So, anyway, I want to tell you this too. You know, when you put something in the oven, I guess y'all know, and I taught science for so many years, steel expands when heated. So when you put it in the oven, what happens is the molecules in the steel, in the black iron, the iron's what we're talking about now, the iron expands. And when it expands, it lets grease go into the pores. I'm gonna set that over to the side and look at this nasty thing. Oh my word. Let's give it a little washing this morning. This will be a nice pot when I get through. It didn't have the handle, but I've got an old handle out there. I'm going to try to see if I can get it on it. But if not, that's all right. It's got two handles you can pick it up with. And also, anyway, I know you don't want me to squash it, do this whole thing, but let me show you something. Wait just a minute. I hate to mess up my new apron this morning, but I got to have an apron on. All right, let me show you something. I don't know if you can see this or not, but see how brown that water is? That's that rust inside the steel. And there it is going down the drain right there. Look at that. Look at that. See how nasty? But that's just part of it. That is part of it. I'm going to do the outside. The bottom. I'm going to get it really clean. Get all the rust off. Anyway, what I was telling you a while ago, that the black iron expands when it's heated, and the molecules get close together when it's cold. That's why you need some good hot water in it. That's why you put it in the oven to season it. You know, I told you could cook a ham in this thing. All right, I'm gonna turn you off just a few minutes, and let me show you this first. Do you see down there in my sink? Do you see that? That is rust that's come off of this skillet right here, or this big pot. That's just rust. That's all that is. I'm gonna scrub on this about 10 more minutes, and I know you don't want to watch me, so I'll be back in just a minute, okay? I didn't want all that rust going down my sink, so I got me an old paper towel, and I wiped it all out because I don't want that going down the sink, all that rust. Stop the sink up. I'm gonna pour this water that I'm doing this in, I'm gonna pour it out the back door. You know, your big mama and your grandmother used to take her dishwater, and she'd have it in a little, sometimes it was like she called it a dishpan. She'd wash dishes in. She'd take that dirty dishwater and sling it out the door because they didn't want it going down into their sink either. So they would do that. So I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, now what I'm doing right here, if you can see that, what I'm doing right here is there's a little ridge. So I'm taking my spatula, or you could take a knife or razor blade or whatever, and I'm going around that little ridge right there, because that's where the top fits. And I'm getting off some of that rust from right there. And any of you men out there that have one of those, it's electric sander. It has a steel wheel, like a little brush that goes around on it. You can take that steel brush, that sander, and go around inside this pot, and it's gonna do it. It's gonna get it ready. Okay, just coming along. Okay, this is about clean enough. I'm gonna rinse it off now, and somehow that turned off. I don't know how it did it, but it did. Turn it down here just a little bit. Okay, I'm rinsing it with good hot water. You don't want to rinse in cold in black iron. You want to rinse in good hot water. Ooh, this is looking good, y'all. All right, I'm gonna turn it up. Now I'm fixing to dry this thing real good. And hey, I got it so clean. I do see a number on it. See what it says. You couldn't even see it a while ago. It says oven, and it's got a marking on it. That's interesting. All right, now we're gonna do this. I'm fixing to put this thing. I see a little bit right here I want to get out. Okay, now I'm gonna put it on the stove over here. Dry our top off good. I'm excited to find one that has a top to it. That's harder to find. Okay, y'all come on over here with me. Come on over here with me. All right, let's get over here on this stove side. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna get out some bacon, and I'm gonna put some bacon in it. Let me find it. Here it is. No, that's not it. Y'all just be patient with me. I'm looking. Where is my bacon? There it is. Okay. See some hot coming up. That's some steam coming off of it. Got me some bacon here, and I'm fixing to cut me some pieces and put in there. And we're gonna season this little thing up. See, what's happening in that pot is that iron right now is expanding because I've got it on, and I'm gonna put this bacon in it, and that iron is going to get bigger in size. And yes, you can eat this bacon. It's not like we can't eat it. All right, I want plenty of it in there because I'm fixing to roll it around kind of and get some all right, let me let you look at this. Let me put 2 more pieces in there. I want it to all be covered. I'm going to turn it down a little bit so it won't cook too fast. All right, it may stick this first time, but y'all look. I've got the sides and the bottom kind of covered. All right, we're going to cook that just a few minutes, and we'll have bacon in a pretty pan. It'll be good. All right, I'm going to put my bacon back up. I don't need any more of it this morning. Let it fry a little bit. Okay, I'm going to turn this off while it's frying because I know you don't want to watch frying bacon. Whoever's heard of such. But anyway, I hope y'all have a good Sunday morning. I'm going to be back in just a minute, okay? Okay, what I'm doing now is this bacon is frying. I'm taking a piece of bacon up like that while it's still just soft. And I'm rubbing it around the sides of my pan. I'm going all the way to the top of it like that. And I'm going to get a piece. Let me get some little tongs. That might help better. Let's get some tongs. All right, I'm going to get a piece. And I'm going to go around the that little rim that I was telling you about. This little rim. I'm going to try to put some grease in that. And that iron is expanding. That cast iron is expanding. It's hard to hold this phone and do the thing. But anyway, here I go. See how I'm getting all up in there with that? And that is seasoning that pan. Get it and pull it, rub it around the sides, and get everything coated in there. All right. And while that's doing, I'm going to put some on the top of this thing. Put a little bacon on it. I'm going to do it around. And I am going to put it back in here and put the top on it. So that can be. And while that's doing, and while this heat is expanding in there, I'll show you what else I'm going to do. All right, let me get out the Crisco. Okay, I told you I'd take an old rag like this. Like this is an old bath cloth. I'm going to put just a little Crisco on it. Not much, just a little bit, see? Okay, while this is cooking, and that top is getting hot and it's expanding, I'm going to barely put a little bit of this on it and give it a little Crisco bath there while it's getting hot on this thing. I'm going to do the handle. See, the inside it is doing fine because it's getting hot in there. Put a little bit more on it. And it'll go into the pores of the top. It'll go in there. Because that's going to get hot in just a minute. That top will. I'm going to throw this little rag away when I get through with it. It'll be going in the trash can. Alright. Do the sides just a little bit. You don't want much on your rag when you're doing the sides because alright, see what's happening now is that iron is expanding and you are getting oil all in there. It's absorbing it. It's absorbing it. But I had some people one time that came to my place and they were doing their own cooking, so they wanted to be nice and clean up after themselves on my iron skillets. And so what they did is they greased the outside of the skillet and the inside with oil, and what happened was that it got real gummy and sticky, and I don't like sticky pots. All right, that's hot up there, so I don't do that. When I get through with this, and I'm gonna wash it with lukewarm water, and then sometimes you can put it back in the oven to dry, but you need to dry it really super good, or the rust will form back on there. All right, look at that. Oh, that's looking like a fine pot. And y'all saw it to start with now and how bad it looked. Okay, look at that, how pretty. Isn't that pretty? All right, let's look and see how our bacon's doing. Okay. I'm pulling it back up on the side of this. Look at the top. See how greasy it's getting in there? It's just about ready. And I'll take it out in just a minute and let you see. Okay, I'm going to take the top off now and let that bacon brown up. And I'm going to wipe off that excess grease with this paper towel where it spattered up on it. But now y'all saw that to start with. You saw how it looked. Now it is not completely ready. Like I say, I might have to work with this a day or two. See, I cooked the ham last Sunday, so I don't need to cook a ham. But as time goes on, you'll see a big difference in your iron. See how pretty that looks? See? And you saw it before. You saw what it looked like. All right, so I'm going to just sit that on this warm oven here. All right, let's check our bacon. It's about ready. Just a few more minutes, and I keep pulling this up to the side so that some grease gets on the side of this bacon. This pot, so that it soaks in it. The pot is hot, so therefore it expanded, so therefore the grease gets in it. All right, let's let it do a few more minutes and this will be done. And yes, I'm going to eat it. Yes, I'm going to eat it. Why waste good bacon? It's clean and it's cooked and there's no rust on it, so that's a great thing. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, my bacon's done. Let me get this up. Let me get it up. I'm going to turn my eye off. My bacon is done. Nice and crispy. Okay. I normally would save bacon grease, but I'm not going to save it today because of trying to clean my skillet. But I am going to take this grease and I'm going to kind of let it go up on the sides real good so that everything gets some on it. I'm going to pour this out. Even though it looks really good, I'm going to pour it out. Okay, now, y'all aren't going to believe this, but here's what I'm going to do next. I'll show you. Let me get you back over here. Because some of y'all think, oh, you can't do that, Miss Brenda. You can't put water in something. All right, here's what I'm going to do. We'll set it right here. I'm going to put just a little bit of cold water in it, and you watch. Just a little bit. That's clean off the sides. I know you think it'll pop the pan, and it might. You stuck the whole pan down in some water, but all right, I'm going to pour that out. And I'm going to take that old rag that I told you about, just an old rag that you don't care about, and I'm going to wipe it out for this first time. Let me put it right here where you can see. All right, I'm going to wipe it out. I'm going to leave it hot now. I'm going to leave it hot. I am not going to wash this in soap today. I'm not going to wash it. I'm going to let it be real dry. See the back outside? Okay. All right, y'all. I'm not finished with this yet. I'm going to cook it a bunch more times. But can you see the difference from that old ugly pan to this? And you know, the Bible teaches everything. And it says that good can be made out of ashes. This is going to be good, even though it was ugly. Sometimes we're ugly in our sin. Well, we are always. And we just feel unworthy and that kind of thing. But God can take us and He can make beauty out of ashes. He can do that. He will do that because He loves His children, and He'll make beauty out of ashes. Isn't that wonderful? So if you're having a hard time today, or something tragic is happening in your life, there's so many things going around in our country that people, the cancers and different cancers and home breakups and everything. And you know, the devil, he wants to destroy us. He wants to. That's his goal, is destroy and kill and maim and do everything else. But God can take the ashes that is in our life, and He can make beauty out of it. So ask Him to do that for you today. He's done it so many times before in my life that He has taken the ashes of my life and He has turned them to good for those that love the Lord now. Not for everybody, but for those that love the Lord, He will change it. Have a good day, and I will keep cooking in this pot till we get it just perfect. I love y'all, and have a wonderful Sunday. Bye-bye. Hey, I forgot something. Here's the bacon that we cooked in the old pot, and I'm fixing to eat it. There's nothing wrong with it. And here is a blueberry tart that I made this morning. It turned out so ugly that I said, well, I'll eat that one myself. So people who are asking what to do with your blueberries, instead of making an apple tart, make you a blueberry one. I took the blueberries, and what I did is I cooked them down just a tad of water till there weren't any water in it. And then when they got good and tender and the water was out, then I added some sugar to taste and stirred it up and made my filling for my blueberry tart. I started to say apple tart, but my blueberry tart. So I'm gonna have this for breakfast, and how good with a piece of bacon. Bye.